For the next part of our lessons, we need to understand the grid in Scratch. I'm going to make my screen a little bit larger so you can see the grid. Oop, come back, grid. And I've lost it. There you are. Okay, the grid is the second box there. It has that red line through it. When you click on it, squares will cover your whole stage. Next to those squares, you'll find some numbers. The grid is 15 squares high and it is 20 squares across. When you're looking at the grid, you need to think rows and columns. Going from left to right, we call that a row. Going top to bottom, we call those columns. So look at my Scratch. What row, if I'm looking left to right, what row is Scratch in? Well, Scratch is in the 8th row going across. Okay, so I'm going to put an 8 there, and Scratch, if I go columns, if I count over columns, he's in the 11th column, so I can put 11 there. Now what I want you to notice, let me go back to my project here. I'm going to add a new page and turn on my grid. I don't have Scratch, I have Tick. You can see he's at 8 and 11, just like the example we looked at. But look what happens when I move Tick around. Those circles move as well. I can decide where I want Tick to be on the grid. If I turn on the grid, I can count how many spaces he needs to move left and right or up and down. And this helps me place my characters in a good placement for my activity. That's going to be important because in our next activity, you're going to move on. These are you're going to work at more independently. You're going to build programs using the grid to help place your characters. After each program is built, show a teacher your program. If it's completed correctly, you'll move on to the next challenge. If it is not, she will ask you to go back and complete that challenge. So here is the first challenge. You zoom out a little bit. What you're going to do is you are going to work with a pig and a chick and the barn. So you're going to read through these directions. It's going to help you with some code blocks. It tells you exactly where to put the pig and the barn and the chick. Okay, it's going to ask you to turn the grid on so you can see exactly where to place those. And you're going to follow the directions to make the pig jump over the barn and the chick jump over the barn. When you have that complete, you will raise your hand and show your teacher, and then you may move on to the next challenge. The third challenge is working with a boy and a girl and having them move across the screen. Again, you'll use your grid in order to place them on the screen.